Hi, I'm Tom and I talk about code. Welcome to my mid-year update where I talk about what's been happening in the first half of 2022. There's a big ticket item, and that is that I've got a new job, but we'll get around to that. In November, December last year, I talked about in a video the first 3 years of my developer career, and I was a little bit coy about naming my current employer. The employer, the place I still work. I haven't started the new job yet. And that's because I work at ANZ, the Australia and New Zealand Banking Group, one of the biggest banks in Australia. And so I kind of felt that trying to be, an internet-facing personality using my real name and stuff, it would kind of be like painting a target on my head to reveal that I worked at a large financial institution. So, by the time this video goes out, I will no longer work at ANZ. I will no longer have access to their computer systems and stuff. Hackers go away. But let's talk about the bank a bit, right? Because there's a lot of stuff I've been working on that I can't talk about, but let's go over a few of the things that I have been doing this year. So my team is the cards team. We build the cards servicing aspect of the back end of the new ANZ app. So we integrate with Visa. We do all kinds of fun downstream stuff and collate information. When you view your card details in the app, that's us. If you put a transaction block on your cards to, block gambling transactions, that's us. If you replace a card or activate a card, that's all our wheelhouse. It's been fun. It's been a cool team to work on. This year I had a really cool opportunity at the start of the year to take a really gross part of our code base that integrated with one of our downstream systems for security and encryption, I guess. Probably shouldn't give away exact details. But I was able to take this, massively refactor it, and take one of the worst aspects of our code base and make it nice, improve the test coverage, and now I've actually made it a library that stands alone from our code base, which is now starting to be consumed by other teams within the bank. Or is in the process of starting to be consumed by other teams within the bank. Everything moves slowly at a bank, right? No, I've actually been really fortunate to work in a part of the bank that does move very quickly. We're empowered to make things happen and build things and iterate very quickly. So, I've really loved the team I've been in, and it's been an awesome opportunity. The other thing that I've really been working on, unfortunately I can't talk about, but I've basically been given a new service within cards, a standalone binary that will run in our cluster, and I've carved it out. Just from the initial kind of design, I've fleshed that out. I've implemented pretty much the first lines of code. I've made the infrastructure and made the requests with the appropriate teams to get all that set up. I've made the sequence diagrams, which have gone through security approval, and now, as of the other day, actually been security approved to go to production. So I've moved an asset from basically nothing to production, which was so exciting. I wish I could talk about the details of what it does, but again, I don't think it's actually announced anywhere yet, so unfortunately, I have to be a bit secretive. The other big thing that my team has done this year is releasing dynamic CVV. So when you have your bank card, it has your card number and a security code on it, and you need both to make a payment online. I assume it's like this in all of the world. I think maybe I believe there might be some places that don't have it. So if you're in that part of the world and this doesn't make sense, just bear with me. But, rather than the very limited security model of a card number and a security code, both on the same physical piece of plastic, cards still have that, but you also have a dynamic security code in the app that refreshes every 12 hours. So if someone steals your card number and the security code, they can't use them to make a payment after that 12-hour window expires. It just gives people a little bit of extra security, right? It separates the two factors that you need to make those online payments. And it's really cool. It's exciting to be part of that, because something that I was involved in the programming of has now gone out to people and impacts how people, interact with their money in the digital world. ANZ was the second bank in Australia to do dynamic security codes, the first bank in Australia to do it with Visa, and so it was really fun to be part of the team that did that. So I was starting to take on more responsibilities and starting to feel, a little bit big for the boots of the current role I was in. So I updated my LinkedIn, I put, a couple of months of Golang experience on there, and my inbox exploded. If you want to get jobs, get Golang experience. It was insane how many people reached out to me. Some of them were really amazing. I did some great interviews with a bunch of awesome companies, but there was one that really stood out. They offered me a job. It was a really hard decision to commit to leaving the bank, but, my last day with them is going to be tomorrow, and then early in August I'm going to be starting with a small logistics tech company called Flip. Flip sound really amazing. I like the idea of working in a smaller company. It's always appealed to me. My employment experience so far has been with the Bureau of Statistics, a huge lumbering organization, that isn't necessarily tech focused, and then ANZ, a huge lumbering financial institution. I've been lucky to land in the most tech focused part of the bank, but there is still an entire bank attached to that. So working somewhere where there's 35 people, a lot of really awesome engineers, it seems like we'll just be able to get stuff done. There'll be a bit less of the bureaucratic overhead, a little bit less of the organizational inertia. I'm excited to see how it goes. Like I said, I think it's going to work very well for me. I think it's going to suit me very well, and it's going to be an environment where I can stand out, even more than I have done at the bank. So people who have followed me for my streams, my PlayStation 2 homebrew development, have probably noticed that a few months ago that sharply dropped off. That roughly coincides with my job hunt beginning, because I would work and then come home and do career-related activities. I didn't have a lot of energy left over for streaming, so, sorry. But no regrets there from my part at all, because I've ended up in a really cool situation out of this. And I'm going to come back to streaming. My plan for the rest of the year is going to be to try and do roughly one stream a week. That's pretty much where I think I'll be able to land. Life is just busy at the moment. I'm getting out and enjoying life. I'm doing lots of social things. I've been doing trivia nights around Melbourne and movie nights, and I'm just having fun getting out, after work drinks. I did karaoke with some people the other day. I'm enjoying my life too much to commit to a really rigorous streaming schedule, but once a week, maybe a Saturday or a Sunday morning. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so if I go out for a huge night on a Friday or a Saturday, I usually wake up the next morning feeling pretty awesome. So I'll be able to squeeze stuff in there. For the next few weeks, I'm going to be pretty flat out. Before I start my new job in early August, I'm taking a bit of a trip into regional Victoria, going to catch some trains, taking pencil and paper. I'm going to try and do some drawing. I'm going to take a laptop with me, but I'm going to delete all of my code off of it so that I'm not tempted to program. I'm just going to have a bit of a technology detox and look at birds for a few days. The PlayStation 2 homebrew is continuing in the background. I found little bits of time here and there to work on it. I've got pretty much a very simple but functional 2D game that works. You can download it on itch.io. Links will be in the description. I've started a really huge refactor of just the way everything is named on the scripting APIs and in the C code behind the scenes. Once that's done, I'm pretty sure I'll be more or less ready to cut a version 0.1.0, kind of a first pass 2D renderer, and then we're going to work towards a 3D renderer and try and get to 1.0.0. But there are some other things that I want to try and work on. I did a hackathon at work in Flutter as well. I built a web UI for part of the bank with the help of a really awesome team. And so now I've got a bit of Flutter experience. I think it might be fun to try and build a website or a mobile app or both in Flutter. It would be fun to do some Quake server browser stuff. I've got all these Quake projects in my mind. I've been playing a little bit of Quake again, and so it would be cool to finish up a bit of work I started years ago with, kind of making a website for, or an API and an associated website for looking at Quake server status, how many people are playing Quake around the world right now. I think it'd be fun to try and bring some of that code into Go and get a bit of a hobbyist Go project going, because I don't have a lot of them in my CV. I've also been working on a project for personal, kind of human scale file management, where your front end into your files is an SSH app. So if you've seen Charm Bracelet, if you haven't seen Charm Bracelet, give them a look. It's Golang libraries for making things that work over the SSH protocol that aren't just, shells into a remote system. The protocol can do a lot of stuff, any text-based application. So that's really fun and exciting. So I've got some other things that would be nice to work on and stream, and also I have to finish my Discord bot. So there's going to be no shortage of ideas. It's just when I get to them and when I sit down and actually do them. And yeah, hopefully once a week is going to be my goal. Other than that, I've just been feeling really good. I started running. I bought some running shoes, so I've been going for little runs around, just the area. And it's hard. I'm not very fit, but, I'm keen to get stronger and get fitter and be healthier, right? I feel like I'm entering a really exciting chapter of my life, moving into a new job that I am just very excited about, and feeling like, my social life is the best it's ever been. My work life seems to be entering, new heights. And hopefully, my fitness and stuff and diet, and hopefully it can all just come together well. So I'm excited right now. I think this is going to be a good year. I'm hopefully gonna be coming at you in another 6 months and telling you about how fantastically right I was and how well all that stuff went. But you never know. Life's a roller coaster. It's all great right now, so I'm keen to keep enjoying it. And where I can, I want to share my love of programming and the cool projects that I'm working on with the world. So yeah, as I said, I'll link the game in its current state in the description. Download it on itch.io, throw it on your PS2 and see if it works. Let me know if it doesn't. but no promises I'll actually fix any bugs. Tune into my live stream, subscribe to this YouTube, follow my Twitch. It's been a bit barren lately, but I'm going to pick it up again. Once I'm kind of settled into the new job, once a week streams, that's going to be the goal. If anyone has cool things that they've been working on this year, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. Also, come to my Discord and share them. That would be really awesome. Sorry this video hasn't really been edited or well lit. I didn't have time to set the studio up because tomorrow is my last day at work with the bank, and it's going to be a bit of a party. And then I'm catching a train out to regional Victoria. I'm not going to have time to edit anything. So thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to follow my stuff if you want to see more. There will be more, I promise, and I will catch you next time.